All right, so welcome, and I think we're all set up, and if anyone else joins, that's wonderful, and if not, well, we have a beautiful group with us, so thank you everyone for joining. And in the when I was sending out the invitation, I did look at what was happening astrologically and with this full moon in Virgo, and some of you are probably quite familiar with Virgo. I have a number of family members that are Virgos, so I've become rather intimately acquainted with the Virgo energy of, it's the house of health and the energy of health and service to our bodies, and even just service in general. So, it's like when we're doing the work and we don't even know why we have to do it, we just have to do it. It's like we're just drawn to doing things on a regular basis that are in service, whether they're in service to ourselves, or a lot of times it's in service to others. And a lot of healers will be Virgos. They'll be naturally drawn to healthcare because of the propensity to be of service. And then I also wanted to bring in this Uranus square Saturn energy, because those planetary influences they're very macro. They're sort of the, larger consciousness level of influence. And so it's not, it's not to say that they're not personal, because they are, but oftentimes their influences really influence humanity as a whole. And because their energies are so very different, we're talking about Saturn. Saturn tends to be, I like to think of a personification of who Saturn is, other than like the god, but it's like this sort of curmudgeonly old guy that likes things the way they like things, and they like the traditions, and they like the rules, and they don't want things to change, but they can also be almost like very paternal in wanting to create the structures and support so that we feel safe. So there's those safety and structural qualities of Saturn that can be very positive for us, because oftentimes when we're looking at astrology and charts and Saturn comes in, it can mean that there's struggle, and like almost an excess of responsibility. It governs Capricorn, and I am a Capricorn, and yeah, I'm always working on my relationship with responsibility, but it's like a very it's a very conservative type of energy, whereas Uranus is, it's like I sent out an email earlier, and some of you may have gotten it. It's like, if Saturn's the box, Uranus is the one that wants to blow it up. You know what I mean? Really, that's the quality of it, because Uranus it's a very revolutionary type of energy, and it's often referred to as the wake-up call. So when we have a big upheaval in our life, or big change in our life, and so it really, you can see how those two energies could conflict, and oftentimes they need to. If we have structures in our society, let's say that they're oppressive paternal structures that are not serving everyone anymore, that they've actually become suffocating, or they become oppressive and too much top down, then the energy of Uranus can create that kind of rebelliousness and that really strong energy. And so, in thinking of how that may play out just in our own personal lives. But then I was even actually just, reflecting on some of those qualities and those influences, and what that may even be like within us. And so, wanting to be able to, even for my own self, because we look at this as like a conflict, but is it? And is there a way of these two energies actually working for our benefit within us? And so, of course, coming back to that structure, we need structure. Structure gives us, it's like structure is our home, for example. It is the walls around us, and it's the day-to-day that gives us that sense of safety and security. So we certainly need that. I'm even bringing in this like structure and intuition thing. In Body Talk, we talk about our intuition needing structure in order for it to function at a higher level. And so with Body Talk, we're using the structure of a chart of, a formal, and Dr. John Veltheim, who created Body Talk, is a Capricorn. And so he created this very sort of structured system, but knowing that the intuition will actually be able to be directed, that very changeable and ethereal energy be directed and actually have the opportunity to thrive within that structure. So I just wanted to share that because I thought that was that combination can look at how those two energies may actually serve us, and shifting that from more of a negative to more of a opening to new possibilities. So all that being said, let's go into meditation, and I'm just going to check my chats just in case somebody is, before I go into meditation. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks for helping out, Monique. Okay, so if you'd like to close your eyes, and I'm just going to have a sip of my tea and then start taking some deep breaths. And just allowing your breath, or allowing yourself to connect with your breath, and just simply how your breath moves your body as you breathe. So that that expansion and that contraction, and any kind of gentle rocking motion of your breath. And really tap into that movement in your body. So do you feel it not just in your chest area, perhaps opening up your back area with your breath? And your rib cage and how it moves your rib cage, but also your belly, helping to open up and maybe even release a little bit and let go in your shoulders. And even into the lower belly, into your hip area and your lower back. So if you maybe had a little bit of tightness in your lower back, using this as an opportunity to open that up and use the breath, and just bring your breath and that gentle rocking motion to allow whatever tension has been held in your body to be released with your breath. And bringing your awareness up into the middle of your forehead. And any thoughts that come in, just observe them. You can imagine that your breath is actually coming in through your forehead. So if you can't visualize that breath coming in, you can perhaps visualize a light in that area in your center of your forehead, or even connecting with the skin in that area and any temperature awareness that you have in that area. And really bring the awareness right into the very middle of your forehead. And so in our prefrontal cortex, right in the middle area, we have an area that at a physical level relates to our expression and feelings of empathy and compassion. So just allow yourself to really breathe into that center. And expand that center of empathy and compassion, which can be really a center of connection. And not only that empathy and compassion for others, but also for ourselves and our pasts and the challenges that we've had. And being able to be compassionate and empathetic to those challenges and to that part of ourself in the past. And now allowing your awareness to expand from the center of your forehead right up to the top of your forehead, or right up to the top of your head. So really in the crown chakra area. And imagine that as you breathe into this area, that there's like a little tiny string that with each deep inhalation, it's actually pulling you up very slightly from the top of your head. So you may find that your body wants to move into just a slight change in your posture as that energy pulls you gently upwards with your breath. And imagine that string that's pulling you upwards travels all the way down the back of your head, down the back of your neck, and right through to the base of your spine. And so bringing your awareness right to the base of your spine, and with your next breath, just feel that you're breathing from the base of your spine all the way up to the top of your head and out the top of your head, and being gently lifted and connected to that higher energy. And so at some level, maintaining that awareness of that gentle support from above you, bringing your awareness into your heart area. And so at this level, we're going to tap into the Heart Chakra, which is a transformational energy in your body. And the Heart Chakra encompasses and governs your heart, your physical and emotional heart, your lungs, your thymus gland, that part of your protective system in your body, the immune system, as well as what protects your heart. And with each breath, allow the expansion of your heart and lungs and thymus gland. And if you'd like, you can imagine a color or colors swirling within the area of your heart. So whatever colors you see, and if you're not able to see colors, feeling a temperature change or warmth or a tingle, it's just however you wish to connect with that energy within your heart, that expansive energy as you breathe in. And that breath in is really revitalizing that energy. and expanding that energy. And then start to bring your awareness to your rib cage. So your rib cage starts underneath your collarbone and really embraces your lungs and your heart. And it embraces all the way down underneath the whole chest area and right around and throughout your back. And so just connect in with your rib cage, that structure that supports your breath and your heart. And that structure is flexible and it moves with you, and the diaphragm expanding but supporting and protecting. And if you feel any area of tension, discomfort in this, just breathe into it and allow your heart energy to expand to that area and energize that area. Now bring your awareness and breath down into your whole intestinal area beneath the rib cage and beneath your diaphragm. And connecting with that expansion and that contraction of your breath and that gentle massage of your whole intestinal area. And so the session has already begun now, and the priority is to do a specific enhancement of hydration throughout both the small and large intestines. And the definition here is of receptivity. So receiving, so both at that physical and nourishment level, as well as the ability to receive life and receive from others. And really what's coming up here is the ability to receive support from others. And this links into your navel, and continuing with that breath cycle. And this is a big energizing circulation within the whole navel center of your body. And the navel really represents your first connection with the outside world. So it's all about your sense of being connected. And so plugging into this and energizing this is helping to, one, to be able to actually shift and clear limitations that may be blocking a deeper sense of feeling connected. And really enhancing and opening you up to a deeper level of connection. And this is a very broad spiritual sense of connection. So there's a parallel formula that's coming up here, and what I'd like you to do is bring your awareness to your back, to the middle of your back, and we're tapping into your kidneys and kidney energy. So you can, with your breath, you can send that warmth and that vitality into your kidney area. And this may be, the physical kidneys are sort of in the middle of our backs, but you may feel that you want to send that breath and vitality to your lower back, whatever draws you and your awareness. And so focusing in on the kidneys and kidney energy, I'm going to go into a sub-session here, so you're welcome to stay in this focus of breath while I do this. So there's a sub-session coming up on your kidney energy. Okay. So there's a 12th astrological house, the qualities of the 12th astrological house coming in, and as an umbrella for this focused session on your kidneys. And the 12th astrological house represents our individuation process. So it can represent physical death, but it also represents a time when we can begin to really shed our masks, our inhibitory behavior, and the beliefs that are no longer serving us. And that, what I'm really getting here is a level of contraction. So when we are afraid of, judgment, and we, due to experiences that we've had in life, and that can really contract a natural expression. And so it's those behavior masks that we will put on in order to cope with that fear. And so the 12th house is really about helping to shed that which we no longer need. So the energy of that 12th house is coming in for this subsession. And there's also a quality of revitalization here. And we're just coming to the end of the water element cycle, which is the winter period in the northern hemisphere. And this is about our kidney energy, and it's about that deep yin quality. And so the idea here is the word anyway that's coming up is revitalizing. And there's also something about the sense of hearing. And so the sense of hearing is also governed by the water element. And it's interesting, if you think about the way your kidneys look, you could almost think that they look like two little ears. And in that association in traditional Chinese medicine is that the kidney energy does govern the ears. And so that those fears and those inhibitions can impact both the vitality, because if we're in a state of excess contraction, then what's happening with our essential qi in the kidneys and their ability to give us that sense of deep vitality and deep nourishment. So these are the qualities that are coming in. I'm just going to go into a little more detail here. So it's actually taking me into more of a body chemistry level. So if you'd like, you're most welcome to do a little saliva sample and put that in your navel. We're going into toxins here. And so it's a body chemistry toxins, but then I'm going further in this to a subsession. And so it's taking me into the physical pathways of detoxification within your kidneys, the little nephrons and all these little really filtration centers within your kidneys. So the job of the kidneys at that physical level is to filter our blood, and the kidneys help to filter out toxins and metabolic wastes that that run through our blood at the water soluble level. And so I'm really going into the pathways here. And there's a consciousness of clarity, a consciousness of clarification. And there's a parallel with this to your sense of hearing as well. It's like clarifying. Oh yeah. Okay, so I know where we're going now. So the clarity, this consciousness of clarity to help to clarify so that your kidneys can function at a better level, but then how that is actually the noise of the world, right? The noise of fear. And all of that of which we hear through the media and even on our own heads, the replay of that is also, there's a parallel to this in this balancing of that at the sense of subtle and physical hearing and anchoring that to individuation. And then there's this really coming to the outer area of the kidneys and really enhancing the fire, balancing fire. So it's like there's this little, like your kidneys want to be cuddled. That's what I'm getting actually. It's like this putting little blankets on your kidneys, the heat, the fire element, and just energizing to further support their nourishment and their replenishment here. So coming back from that subsession and coming back up into your thymus gland in your heart area. So once again, if you'd like, you can bring your awareness just above your heart area. And we're going to tap this formula in. So what I'd like you to do is, if you'd like, if your awareness is within your thymus gland area, then you don't necessarily have to bring a hand there, but if you'd like to, you can. And I'm going to tap this formula in. You're most welcome to join me, continuing with whatever breath is comfortable for you. Great, I see some big yawns happening. I'm just going to, again, invite you to close your eyes and travel with me. And I just need a little sip of my tea. Okay. Okay, so now we're going back up into your brain. And so let's go back up into that area, that little pull, that string, that sense of connection through your crown chakra. And so Just reconnecting with that and bringing your awareness to that. And so here I'm going into your cortex in your brain, the outer area of your brain. If you, the first priority that's coming up here actually is your cerebral spinal fluid that nourishes your brain. And so the brain is also governed by the water element, and the kidney, it's associated with the kidney, bladder energy, the whole nervous system. And so going into the cerebral spinal fluid, and so what the priority here is a pH balance through body chemistry. So going into body chemistry and then doing a pH balance. And it's for the flow, like for the support of the flow of the nourishment and cleansing aspects of the cerebral spinal fluid that bathes your brain right through the ventricles within the center of your brain, right down into your spinal cord and all around that. So this whole flow and nourishment and cleansing. And then linking into it's really, I'm linking to both hemispheres of your cortex. So here's where the energy of this Uranus is coming in, this planetary energy. And in this sense, when we think of planetary qualities of Mercury, Mercury is all about that quick communication and quick thought. So Uranus, in a sense, is like the higher level of that. It's more about a collective level, collective consciousness level, and that, so definitely a higher level of that. And so that's the energy that's coming in. And what's really coming up here is this quality of synergy between the left and the right hemispheres. As well as very much so this collective consciousness, this support and connection of collective consciousness. And it's at the frequency level. And this is taking us back to your third eye chakra, right in the center of your forehead, into its transformational qualities. So at a traditional chakra level, this chakra is known as the Ajna Chakra, and it is the chakra of transformation. So it's like all of the other chakras communicate with this chakra to help to transform our limiting beliefs, to transform our consciousness into a new level of awareness. And so this awareness in particular is connectivity to that broader consciousness level that type of Aquarius energy, that that collective consciousness. And then and then we're like right down to your feet. So it's like we link right down to the very base of your feet to their grounding quality, but also their connection to earth, the earth for that sense of being grounded, but also the earth energy, that the minerals and the connection and that sense of support and nourishment from the earth, that stability of being connected. So it's like both the higher level of this consciousness, but linking into ground that stability. And it's like my right ear is saying, and that's Saturn, right? That stability is that. Yeah, and this actually takes me into what Saturn governs in our body, which is one of the primary things is our skeletal system. So, you know, in governing those structures, that's what's coming up is your skeletal system. So this is like all the tiny bones in your toes and your feet, and then all of those, the ankle joints and the way those bones come together in the lower legs and join up, moving up into your knees. And you can follow along with me in your mind's eye if you'd like, to the knee joint and that flexibility and movement forward in life, and then to the large leg bones and into the support and the connection of those leg bones into your hip sockets, and the freedom of movement and flexibility within your hip sockets. And as soon as I get into your hip sockets, it's like a hydration is coming up as a priority from the all the joints in your legs, from your feet, like right into every little joint within your feet, little toe joints, into your ankle joints, into your knee joints, and then into the hip joints. Priority to specific hydration within each of these joints. And then linking to your sacrum and the SI joints bilaterally, the lower back area. And here it's really going into the fascia and connective tissue and muscle that surrounds and supports the SI joint. And so if you can, with your breath, just bring your awareness into the lower back area with any movement and flexibility, just allowing that to move and gently rock with your breath. So linking this this group of muscles and tendons up into your SB juncture. So this is a juncture that really sits in the middle of your brain, in the middle of your head, the sphenoid basilar juncture. And so the sphenoid bone starts at right around your eyebrows on both sides, then it goes right into your brain. And this bone is also known as the God bone because it connects to so many other bones, all other bones in your brain. But it also hosts your pituitary gland and that gentle rocking. And so this bone has a distinct relationship with your lower back and the flexibility and mobility, and also with your breath cycle. So linking into this juncture from the base of your spine. And so with this, it's like we're balancing this juncture. So if there's any, compromised movement or something like that in it, to the lower back area, this lower back area, but we're also, it's like we're doing a bivaxis here. So redefining the relationship between this juncture and the SI juncture in relation to your whole breath cycle. And that's how we're going to tap this last formula out. And so I'm just going to actually hold my own SB, not the pituitary point, but actually the sphenoid bone. You're welcome to join me and just put your hands gently on the sides of your forehead and deep breaths with this, please. And so once again, with these deep breaths, not just allowing them and being aware if there's like more of an opening, but also it's just allowing that pull from the top of your head again, that pull, that gentle support. Okay, so the next priority is your Wei Qi, your protective energy that runs just above and below your skin. It pretty much covers everything, goes through your entire respiratory system, your digestive system, and so there's a priority to balance this, and it's taking me into the 5 elements. I'm just going to find out if there's, it's at the emotional level. So this is about helping to balance and protect you more to other people's emotions. So it's taking me into the 5 elements. Okay, so we're going into the wood element. And you could say that the wood element is has a pretty tight relationship with your Wei Qi. So both organs, the liver and gallbladder, and those energies really play a strong role in helping to energize your Wei Qi. And so we're going to go into a balancing within your wood energy in this Wei Qi, with this focus on this emotional Wei Qi. So within this, we're linking the earth element and the quality of support and security to the water element. So it's like your water element has felt insecure. It's been afraid. And so the earth element wants to talk to it and say, hey, I'm here for you. It's like that quality of, remember me, I'm your support system. And so helping to strengthen that sense of support and balance that excess water through that balancing of the earth element in the wood is going to help to strengthen that emotional Wei Qi. Okay, so there's there's a link coming up, and it's back up into the top of your head, and this time it's specifically into the governing vessel 20, which is a point that sits right at the top of the head and really plays a large role in our mental clarity, even our ability to remember things, and also relates to our learning by habit and our habits and patterns. And so, yeah, just linking this last formula into this Wei Qi, balancing into the governing vessel, and this is how we're going to tap this out. So I'm just going to ask again that you take some deep breaths. And if you'd like to go inward and bring your awareness and attention to your skin, and imagine that as you breathe, that your skin and the energy all around your skin is expanding and strengthening. Okay, and so bringing your awareness once again into your heart area. And your breath into your heart chakra area. Okay, so here there's this balancing of a consciousness of awareness, anchoring into your heart. And so it's like, you know, when I put out the theme of consciousness, that's a pretty broad category. And so this consciousness of awareness, it's like the awareness of who we are, the awareness of our body, and the awareness within our body and what its roles are. And even how we, perceive things, how we look at the world, and are we looking at, are we looking for problems, or are we looking for solutions, right? Are we looking at the world and the challenges we face as something that is beyond us, or are we able to shift that into being able to open up to the possibility of a new pathway? So a way of seeing a way out, so to speak. And this is it's like some thoughts are coming to mind with this whole consciousness of awareness, because it's a pretty broad and large balancing. because it's like, well, awareness of what our potential is. And so often we have challenges. We go through things in life, and out of those things we form perceptions and beliefs about the world, and that can limit us, because then we can form expectations about what we think is going to happen. And just by virtue of expecting things, we can limit the possibility for what's outside of that expectation. And so this balancing of awareness is, it's about being able to expand our awareness to the possibility of, one of the things that's coming to mind for me is that, let's say, someone has a blocked artery. The body in its infinite wisdom will actually form another pathway around that. The blood will actually form through little capillaries. Capillaries will actually start to form a new way around it. And so, we're very adaptable, and we're, if given the opportunity. And so it's like that awareness is helping to shift and expand into what else is possible, as opposed to this is a problem and I can't get beyond this. It's like helping to open up more of that awareness of your own creativity and creative problem solving, and that really innate ability. And maybe part of that whole connection with that collective consciousness that we balanced within your brain, and connecting you to the support of that, is that we think I always wonder, what is creativity? Where do these ideas come from? And that they're very personal, but are they? It's like there's a world of ideas and of solutions and of creativity, and so that we can start to tap into. So yes, I invite you to try to challenge yourself a little bit. If you start to see something in a negative way, ask if there's another way of seeing it. And that's the beauty of gratitude. Gratitude can start to actually retrain our brain to see things, to actually look for things to be grateful for. And if we're looking for things to be grateful for when we do a regular gratitude exercise, we start to actually train ourselves to look for things. Then if we're looking for things to be grateful for, we're going to be looking for solutions. We're going to be looking for, a way around the challenge that we are facing. So I just wanted to share some of those things that I've been thinking about, and thank everyone for joining this week. And I just love that we keep doing these, and you bring your energy, and it's a collective healing at its best. So everyone have a wonderful week, and hopefully we'll see you next week. And I always welcome your feedback and insights. Okay, take care, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, Linda. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, Jackie. Wonderful to see you.
Yeah, me too. Big hug.
Mwah. Big hugs to everybody. Yes.